All right, so I'm gonna give you guys a little education on how some shit works. Um, Often you see these people on come on social media that are liberals and they do this thing about Trumpsters and talk about being triggered and talk about snowflakes and shit because they're trying to turn around the mantra and the language that people use to talk about the liberals nowadays. So they look at it like the the Trump thing as I can piss these people off by calling them Trumpsters and they're worshiping Trump and all this shit. And you guys got it wrong. Let me tell you what you're not understanding here, man. The whole thing about the people who you're shit talking to, that audience that you're shit talking to, that you're talking about, people who worship Trump mindlessly, shit that they're doing. Okay, there's two kinds of people that voted for Trump. Okay, there's conservatives who were hoping for conservative policies, who vote maybe Republican, or they're conservative voters and they want conservative policies and want a conservative country, and they want to preserve the United States, and they want liberal, they don't want liberal judges. They don't want people trying to legislate from the bench, and they want they're constitutionalists. Okay, so they voted for what they thought was going to get what they want for the country, their vision, and so they're happy that Trump is doing things that are going with conservative policy. Okay, now that said, those people are the intelligent voters who understand, who are educated about what's going on, and they know what they want. They know the policies they want. Just like if you have a person who's an outright socialist who wants socialist policies, and wants more socialism and wants all this social justice bullshit, then they vote Democrat because that's what they believe in. Okay, now then you've got the idiots that are just going with whatever, like they're going with the rah-rah, what I call the fucking football mentality. Like, you know how people like teams, and it doesn't matter if their team loses or wins. It's kind of like, make it make sense. Have you ever seen a woman who is married to a big football fan, and that big football fan is big on a team, or they're really big on this team, like they're big on a college team or whatever, for example. So they just basically just repeat what their husband believes in, and they wear the colors and they wear the stuff, and they may not be that informed. Now, I'm not saying all women aren't, but I'm saying there's some women who you can tell they're just kind of going to the game and getting with the other wives or people and just wearing the colors and getting into the game because that's what their husband does. So they're like say somebody's a UT fan and the wife, she wears the orange stuff and she goes with the UT thing because that's what her husband believes, or they got a kid that went to college at UT, whatever, but they just go with it. They may not be football experts, they may not ever watch football except because of those circumstances, but they're just going with the football team. But regardless of what that team does, regardless whether that team loses, wins, if you're a UT fan, if you're an Alabama fan, and you're one of those type of fans, you're going to stick through that team no matter what, and you're going to make excuses, and you're going to say that team is always right, and you're going to be pissed if it's a fucking fight if somebody says something about your team, especially you Alabama people. And I'm not a fan of any of this shit because I'm into politics, I'm into guns, I'm into all this shit, I'm into work, and I'm into what I do. And so I don't really have time for all that shit because I'm too busy. So my thing is that is basically how you kind of got to look at people who voted for Trump like that, because those people don't even know the difference in Democrat and Republican. They're kind of like uninformed fans. So you guys, I hate to tell you, but those people you're insulting were the people who voted for Obama too, because they thought that was the thing to do, the cool thing to do. And what people realized is we have to have some of the dumbasses, uninformed people vote for Republican stuff, because your average Republican is more educated on history, on actually how policy works and how things work and what works for the country than your average Democrat. I hate to tell you that, but that's the truth. So your average Republican, because people who know history and understand numbers and understand what the country's founded on, is very rare. We can't win elections without some of the idiots coming our way. So the people you're worried about are the people who would actually be on your side if your shit looked cool. So that's what you're not understanding, is you have a lot of people who voted for the first time or don't know the difference in a Democrat and Republican, or don't even understand what they're voting for, and they voted for Trump. That's the people that you're talking to. You're talking to your damn friends, the same people who voted for Obama, because see, what you guys don't get is the way that you guys were about Obama, like you worshiped the guy and you projected your hopes and dreams onto him, and you thought he was going to solve all your problems and he was going to fix everything, and what he told you, that is the mentality that got Trump elected. You guys created this shit. That's the dumb thing, is you guys created thinking like that, because all of us who voted for Republicans were voting for policy. We weren't voting for the guy. We were mad at Bush because Bush wasn't doing conservative policies, so he wasn't really a true example of a Republican. It's what we call them rhinos. Whereas Democrats, you got to have that emotional shit, that whole sales pitch. So you guys bought into the hook, line, and sinker thing with Obama. So you have this mentality that everybody who's about Trump is the same way you were about Obama. Unfortunately, the people who do think that way are mostly motherfuckers that voted for Obama, or people who are not really, or they're actually just like a lot of Democrats, low information voters. The only reason why that we won these elections, and I'm being honest, is because we got enough people to vote for Trump who would normally vote for the Democrat because they were told to, because Trump got on the popularity bandwagon in the whole thing. And that's the damn truth. Do I get that worked up when you say shit about Trump? No, because Trump is not my God. Just like Obama was your God. But you guys can hide behind the race thing. Anytime anybody says something about Obama, oh, you're racist, you're racist, you're racist. Oh, you're just racist. And if put it this way, if Trump was a Democrat, you guys would be doing, it's like with Obama. No matter what Trump did, you would say he was right. Okay, that's the way Obama was. No matter what Obama did or fucked up, you guys agree with everything he fucking said. So those same people who think that way, that voted for Trump, now you guys are trying to shit on him, and you think that everybody, like I said, that's a Republican or conservative, they believe conservative policies. We're not all like that. That's you guys, but people there. That's the people that you guys created. You created that mentality. You created that sports team mentality. People who don't really get what the fuck is going on with the country. Now all we can do is my thing is, let's educate those dumbasses that voted that don't know what they're voting for. Say, hey, you see how these numbers are higher than they've ever been? You see how the employment numbers are higher? You see how all these things are working better? This is conservative policy. Explain to them. It isn't because of Trump so much as Trump is getting people in there that are doing the policies and Trump is pursuing them. It's what Trump is doing. Those policies have existed a long time and the country worked great with those policies. The thing is people quit doing them. And when Trump does them and he gets people implemented that do and pursue those policies, then guess what? Things fucking work. And that is the thing that these people never understood. You say Obama's doing it because he's got a magic wand. Obama's magic. Look what Obama did. He gets in office for a couple of weeks and he gets the Nobel Peace Prize because he's just Obama and he's magic, and because he's African American. You have to believe in him. You have to believe that he's right because he's a non-white person. So because he's a non-white person, number one, you can't disagree with him or you're a racist. And number two is he's magic. He's going to save us all. Okay, so that mindset is what the fuck you got. That you reap what you sow. That mindset is what shifted to Trump. We start looking at presidents to be magic people, like characters on on cartoons, superheroes and shit like that, instead of understanding we want a guy to go in there and implement policy. So all you people who come on these social media sites and you start saying, "No, you Trumpsters, you worship Trump, you're Trump." No, we don't worship Trump. You're talking to the next. Be careful who you're insulting, because the people who take that seriously, who give a shit, are the next people who fall for when socialism is the thing, or whoever the cool person is. They're the idiots that will go your way. So all you're doing is burning yourself. You're just turning off the idiots that normally would deal with your candidate, that have been voting for your candidate all these years. See, we finally turned them because we finally got them to smart. We got a guy they can go for because it goes in that little my team versus your team mentality rather than common sense, history, understanding policy, understanding the candidate, understanding what you're voting for. We finally got somebody that those people will go for. We got, who knows if we'll have one again. But when we got a person that all those people can go towards and gravitate towards, then we win elections. Because people got to realize you got to cater to idiots, because most of America are fucking dumb people nowadays that don't really care, that have been bought into entertainment and bought into this shit. The average American doesn't give a shit. They worry about sports and entertainment more than that. So if you put an entertainer or a sports mentality up there, then you got it. I mean, The Rock will probably run one day, and then you'll have people going for that kind of shit because it's The Rock. That's the dumb shit that we're winning and losing with. Unfortunately, what I'm saying is, if we can take all those people, low information people who don't understand, don't have no damn clue what a conservative or liberal is till now, educate them and say, this is what they do, this is what they've been doing. That you don't go over and vote for the next popular Democrat because they tell you that's the popular guy, and don't go buy into the next thing because you think you can get something for free or whatever. This works better. Do you remember when you voted for Trump? I know look at what happened after Trump got in office. Look at all the things, because they've already got the news media trying to tell them how to think. Those people win because they watch CNN, and you can have a speech, and then CNN says, this is a dismal speech, and all these things happen, and they didn't talk about the environment, and this, and this, and this. He didn't talk about gun control. So they sit there and tell you all the things that he didn't do, and if you didn't even watch the speech, oh, Trump must have had a really bad speech last night. You know why? Because CNN told you that. So they know that people are like that. They know that people are dumb like that. And they've been playing on that for years. The media has been playing on that dumbness for years and that lack of paying attention for years. If you pay fucking attention, people are so lame, they don't even pay attention that we had Obamacare, and they wanted it, and they're the ones that put it in place, and now they're saying we need to fix this healthcare crisis. Well, that was what you said you were going to do then. Go back and look at what Obama was supposed to save us and fix us with Obamacare, but it didn't work out. But now they're going to try to sell you a fix on something that they did. Did you forget that they did it? Oh, because you don't know the difference in Democrat and Republican in any way, and you don't know what Congress does. And that's why when they do these things, they say so many people disapprove of Congress. Well, because they don't know what the fuck's going on with Congress anyway. Most of these people couldn't name a congressman. Most of these people don't know the difference in Senate and Congress. Look at Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Don't even know that the branches of government. And that's the reason why. That's why people like this dumb bitch, because she is just as dumb as your average idiot that votes that way. Some of these people can't tell you shit. And they're sitting there voting. And the thing is stupid people vote. And now they've got it's my right to vote. It's my right to vote. I've got to vote. Everybody needs to vote. Take part in it. That's because now you've got every dumbass in the country thinking they got to vote because it's a right thing to do. And as long as they tell you that, as long as you're buying into the shit, then they want you to vote. As long as you're buying into whatever bullshit they're telling you, yeah, they really want you to keep voting. Because if you keep voting, then they can tell you, do this, do that. We got minorities, we control them. Of course, we can control these minorities. Let's just tell the minorities what to do, and then we'll do this, we'll do that. And that's how their plan is. The last election, another reason they lost, is they pretty much said, fuck white guys. They didn't give a shit. We can win with these people. We can win with minorities and gay people. We don't need them. We got plenty of that. Women, minorities, and gay people, white males, fuck them. We'll just call them Anglo-Iraq males. Then when the election we don't win the election, we'll just say it's Anglo-Iraq males. So why do you think they've been against males the whole time after this election, talking about toxic masculinity, Me Too, all that shit is they're mad because white guys got out and voted. So they're trying to destroy white males now because it's the only threat left. That's why they're trying to disarm us. That's why they're trying to destroy us, because we're the threat. And we're the ones that voted in Trump for the most part. We got off our asses and did it. And there's a lot more black people that are voting for Trump, which is scaring them. So they're trying to talk about the Ku Klux Klan and shit, because some black people are figuring out they've been lied to for the past fucking 50 years or whatever. So they're figuring it out. The minorities are figuring it out. So they can't sit here and claim ownership. Why do you think they don't want a wall? Why do you think they don't want what they call voter suppression? It's because that's not really voter suppression. What it is allowing illegals to vote. And you look now, they've already discovered thousands of illegals voted. That's why. That's their voter base. Like, hey, these guys will come here, we'll pay for all this shit for them, we'll give them all these benefits, and they'll vote for us. And that's the only reason. If they thought those people crossing the border were going to become Republicans, they'd have fucking they'd be out there planting landmines. They'd have every fucking celebrity in the world doing concerts to pay for a fucking wall. Because that's the only reason. It's not because they're not racist. It's not because they fucking love everybody. You fucking stupid. Or they care about kids. They can give a fuck about kids. The only reason they're doing it is they think they're going to get votes and benefit off of it. It's common sense. It's common fucking sense. You really think about the reality that they tell you.
Do you honest to God think that Trump is such a hate? I hate Mexicans and people from Guatemala. I hate people so much. I want this wall because I hate people. You think everybody's like, we just hate people, that brown people. We hate brown people so much. We don't want any brown people here. So we want a wall to keep brown people out. It's not about keeping brown people out. It's about order. It's about keeping people from coming here illegally. It's about that are flooding the market, not paying taxes, and getting benefits off the government. And you know what? It's common sense. We don't want to pay higher and higher taxes to support people who aren't paying into the system. And they can lie and say that they are. They can make up these. Why do they got to go out of their way to make up stories about how they do pay taxes when you can sit here and no matter how you look at it, there's a lot of people that are getting free shit. All in my neighborhood are getting free shit. Go on the website. It tells you guidelines to get free, non-citizen guidelines for EBT, for example. That's all on there. All they can do is have a kid here. They could have 15 people in the house. They're getting food stamps. They're getting, look at all the times that they were getting child tax credits. There was a thing in several states where they had to correct the law because they were getting thousands in child tax credits. Look it all up. Okay, so they were milking the system. That's why when I look out here, these guys got $50,000 trucks and not paying taxes, not paying anybody, paying everybody on the table. I know we got put out of business by that same practice. I'm not going into detail. I have before. I can later. But here's the thing. They got all this shit going on. It's obvious. They're like, hey, guys, come here. We want as many of you as possible. We're going to give you stuff, and you belong to us. And now you belong to us and vote for us. It'll keep us in power. And the Republicans are like, these guys are going to use all these guys to get in power. It's common sense. They're going to vote for them because they want free stuff. And if you look at the reality of that, okay, these people come here, they're voting for them. These people come here, they're not voting for Republicans, they're voting for Democrats. Okay, we want the votes. We want the votes. The Democrats, we want the votes. Republicans, we don't want those guys voting against us. Common sense, why that's a war. Common sense, why? But then you have to look at the reality. Now, it doesn't matter if you're Democrat or Republican. Look at right and wrong. Right and wrong is this. We all pay taxes like we're supposed to. Is it right for somebody to come here and game the system and not do what they're supposed to do? Is it right for people to use these people as slave labor because they're going to work and they're not getting workman's comp if they get hurt? Dude, I can go into details about, I know how construction people do. They don't go get workman's comp. What do? They get hurt, they go to the emergency room and they don't pay. We pay for it. Our insurance costs are high because we pay for it. We're paying for them to go to emergency rooms. We're paying for them to have kids. We're paying for all that shit. Now, if they were getting goddamn insurance like they're supposed to from the employer, and if they were getting workman's comp, they would get paid for when they got hurt. But no, they're getting paid lower wages. They're getting paid slave wages. If they had papers, they came here legally, they could get all the things that everybody else gets. And then it's an even playing field because you and I are getting paid the same wage because we're both competing. We're having to let the best worker win, not whoever underbids somebody else win. So therefore, if I do the same job that a Mexican guy does that comes here that's got papers, then we both have to work equally as hard to get the same pay. He should not be making less than me if he works just as well as I do or anybody else. He should be making the same thing. He should get workman's comp if he gets hurt. Nobody should be able to cut those corners. Now, there's your moral issue right there. It's not about not letting them in. Why would you be so mad about somebody coming here, sneaking here, and not supposed to be here unless you wanted to vote from them? What else? Why would you be happy about that? If you're a Democrat, because you're humanitarian, you want to help all these people, you got to get better lives. Are you really that humanitarian? Bullshit. You're not so humanitarian that you want these people to come over here and take care of them and do great things for them. We want to do great things for people from other countries who are struggling. Bullshit. Nobody's that stupid to believe that unless they're really idealistic and moronic. The truth is, you think you're going to get something out of them. You think you're going to get votes, okay? And the truth is, Republicans know they're not going to vote for them more than likely because they're going to get free shit from the Democrats and they're going to supposedly owe the Democrats. So that's the honest, obvious case. Then, like I said, take it away from the parties. Look at the human cost. Look at the reality. They're making less money. They're not getting the same treatment on the jobs and the same safety requirements and shit that we're getting. They're not getting the same benefits that we get. They're getting paid less. And on the good side, for them, they're getting benefits to make up for that. They're getting government benefits to make up for not making what we make. They're getting all kinds of benefits, all kinds of things. And those things are what keep them over is for not worried about getting the pay and not worried about doing it right, because they get those out of it. They get the trade-off there. So that's common sense. It's just common sense. They're willing to trade because their country may suck or their income may suck so bad. They're willing to trade the stuff that normal workers' rights, normal workers get for government benefits and getting, being in America. So let's do it right. Let's make it equal. Make it equal playing field. Everybody gets workman's comp like you're supposed to. Everybody gets decent wages for their work. We get paid what the work is. Everybody bid. Nobody can underbid anybody because they're not paying the taxes. Nobody can underbid because they're not paying. Don't give me a fucking break. I know how they do this independent contractor shit, and we know. Anybody in construction knows that they do these independent contractor things, and that's how they get around it. We all know this. They don't pay insurance. They say they do because they pay insurance on their sister-in-law in the office and say, oh, we got insurance. Then something happens. Oh, these guys are responsible for their own insurance. Then they go to emergency room. There you go. That's the truth. You don't want to hear the truth, then fuck you. Then I'm done. After getting put off of social media for nothing, for minor shit, I'm just going to tell you what it is. I'm not a racist. I don't give a shit about hurting other people from other countries. I think they come here and do the goddamn job. Fine. We need help. We can't get enough help. But I want people with fucking papers come over here, paying like I do, getting the money took out the check, paying in the social security system, paying the fucking shit, paying their fair share. You worried about fair share, Democrats? You sure as hell ain't when it's somebody that's taking my job. You sure as hell ain't worried about fair share when somebody's costing me to lose my ass because they'll do it for $5 an hour cheaper than I will because they ain't got to pay taxes on it, and they're getting food stamps because nobody knows they're making any money. And they're getting, $400, $500 a month in food stamps, and that makes up for what, well beyond what they're making difference in paycheck. Okay? We're not stupid. Instead of these rich people who have no fucking clue on both sides talking about what's going on, they don't know. My family lost their company because of people underbidding us per square foot by like 15 fucking cents. Okay? And none of those guys, and I know the guy because he lives next door to my mother. And guess what? He murdered somebody over in Antioch and now he's on the run. Okay? He shot a dude up in a bar. So, this shit happens every day. Think I made that up? I'll give you details. Okay, this guy shot somebody. I know the guy. I work with a guy. I subbed with them because I needed money so bad. You know what they gave me? I worked my ass off. I got $347 a week. I'm ashamed to say that. I got $347 for working, busting my ass for this dude. Okay, because they rip them off. They did a 15,000 square foot house. And they gave these guys like $2,500, and they did a $40-something thousand bid, and they hand them $2,500 for 4 of us. That's how they do these guys. Yeah, I can tell you details. You can sit here and talk about shit all you want about what you think you know, but you start looking at the actual money and the actual numbers, they're getting fucked. These guys, these Mexican guys, and these guys coming here from Honduras and shit, they're getting fucked in the ass. They should be coming here, being citizens, being part of the system, being fucking capitalists, learning what a Republican is, being Republican, but learning the system, getting their papers, and being part of this system and assimilating like the rest of us and be a productive citizen and make this country great because they're doing it right. If they fall off a scaffold, then they go to the hospital on workman's comp insurance paid by these fucking companies that are supposed to be paying it. They get treated like you're supposed to in America. Just say that anything else is slavery. We got labor laws, goddammit. And you know what? You want to sit here and say it's humanitarian to let these guys come here, but they're not. You're not thinking about the downside. They're not getting the same labor laws and assistance and protections that somebody does that's doing it right. Let's get them here. Let them do it right. Quit fucking playing games with slavery and do it the right way. That's all I got for today.